How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Deathbound, and today I want to bring you a starter guide for the game. We're still in the demo here, so no spoilers. But yeah, this is the new party-based Souls-like, and what I mean by party-based is, as you can see on the lower left, we have 4 available characters that we can do what they call morph to. Now, this allows you to switch to different characters and create combos from those morphs. So basically, you're going to start off the game, I believe, with one essence or one character. They're called essences in the game, so I'm going to refer to that. And then as you go through the game, you pick up fallen warriors, and those are the other essences that you pick up as you proceed through the game. And as you have a full party, you can, attack and then morph and change characters, and the bar at the bottom is your sync bar. Now, as you attack, you build up that bar, and then you can do what they call morph strikes. You can attack, morph, once you have a full party. And basically, if you fill up the full bar, you get what they call the sync between all the characters there. So let's demonstrate that. And then once you do that, you get a full bar. You can do a ultimate morph strike. Now, in my experience, that is the best way to put out damage. If you do perfect dodges as well, you will fill up the sync bar faster. So once you get an ultimate morph strike going for you, let's get the big boy over here. That is the easiest way to get lots of iframes and also put out big damage. So you want to stay tuned to the end of this video, because I'm going to share my thoughts on the #1 tip for the game. Okay, so now you see we have a full sync bar there. So let's go down here and demonstrate what it looks like for an ultimate morph strike. So just doing the basic morph strikes, you're gonna get they're quick attacks. This, like I was saying, you get a lot more iframes. So let's bring this guy over here. So here we go. See how long that... Oh, and he dodged it. Nice move, buddy. Nice move. But anyway, you see that you get a lot of iframes during that animation. So it's pretty cool. But like I said, you can do attack, morph, depends how many bars you have down at the bottom there. So, next tip that I have here, one little tiny tip is watch I brought this up in another video, but make sure you watch the floors. There are a lot of traps, see there, that will shoot stuff to hurt you. Also, these barrels here with the X's, you have to be very careful of those. And also, as you saw over there while I was fighting that enemy, there was an explosive canister over there, and right here there is a freezing canister. Now, when you get frozen, when enemies get frozen, if you have one of the characters, you can do a backstab on them. But when you get frozen, it lasts for a long time, so you gotta be extremely careful with that. So let's talk about you can see some green bars in between some of my characters there. Those are called synergies. Now, there's also conflicts. So the 2 synergies we have here, there are 2 groups in the game, the Church of Death and the Cult of Life. Now, depending on who you have in your party, you're going to get synergies and conflicts. So here we're getting a plus 15% sync gain for these two characters, Momdile and Throne. And for Hodai and Julia, we're getting melee attacks inflict corruption. Now, in my experience with the demo, that is extremely potent. I'll share why that is in a little bit. But yeah, anything with status build-ups in the game, extremely useful. So you can, like I said, basically whoever you have in your party, you can also have conflicts based on who the character or the essence is aligned with. So if we look here, if we're going to change out our character, for this we would get a switching this character out, we would get a conflict with Throne and Hodai, plus 35% tolerances, which is good to statuses. However, we get a minus 10% movement speed. Now, the buffs that you get from synergies are pretty good, but the buffs that you get from conflicts are actually stronger, but also you get that debuff. In this case, with the minus 10% movement speed, it's really not that bad. If we were to swap in Agoros, we would get plus 25% attack weight. Now, attack weight is, first of all, is the amount of stagger buildup. There's a little meter on the lock-on meter. It'll start to fill up solid white as you build up the stagger meter, and then once that fills up, the enemy will get staggered briefly. So it's not like, Elden Ring, Dark Souls, you get staggered, you can do a critical attack. It's nothing like that, unfortunately. But that bar fills up, and then they're stunned out of their animation or their attack, whatever they were about to do. So that's what attack weight refers to. So plus 25% here, that is a good thing. However, as you can see, we get minus 25% tolerances. Now, in my opinion and my experience with the game so far, I've played, the pre-alpha, I have played the updated Steam demo, and I've played the PS5 demo, so I have a decent amount of knowledge and hours in the game so far. So in my experience, the minus 25% tolerances is not good, because the statuses in the game are extremely potent. So having minus in the status buildup is probably not going to end well for you. So yeah. So if we switch to stats here, a couple of stats that I want to call attention to, because obviously these are a lot different than most Souls-likes that you'd see. So we have heat decay. I want to call attention to that. So heat, if you have a spellcaster, as you do spells, I'll show that. As you do spells, there is a yellow bar that builds up around the character. Now that is your heat gauge. Now if you do spam too many spells, you're going to have overheat, and that does an overheat explosion. Now that does damage to enemies, but as you can see, that also hurts you. Now at the beginning of the game, in the beginning of the demo, that hurts actually quite a bit. But as you level up, it hurts less, but I'm sure it hurts enemies more, but it seems to hurt you less. So that is one thing to be aware of. Let's see. Oops. So if we go back to stats here, so that is what heat is. So heat decay is relates to how that meter will decay, how fast it goes down, so you can actually spam more of your stuff and your casting. Obviously cast speed is how fast you can cast that, and then pretty much everything else is self-explanatory. I just explained the overheat damage. There is a perfect block mechanic in the game, so if you can get perfect blocks, there is an audible sound when you get that. So the block stability, block absorption, because Throne has a shield, and two of the other characters can block with their weapons as well. So lifesteal. Lifesteal is actually, as you, this kind of ties into my number one tip here. So we're gonna dive into that right now. But lifesteal, as you attack, that's how you heal your inactive essences. So my number one tip is don't play this like Dark Souls. Don't, and Elden Ring. Don't attack, dodge and all that. I mean, obviously that is what you have to do, but you're not gonna be, R1 spamming your way to victory. Trust me, you don't want to trade hits with enemies in the game, especially the larger enemies like that shield guy over there you saw me fighting. It's definitely not going to end well for you, especially early on in the demo or early on in the game. So don't play this like you would those games. And I say that because you don't want to, like I said, you want to attack, morph, and you're gonna see, especially with the bigger enemies, just doing straight melee and dodging, straight melee and dodging. It's not gonna, you're not gonna be doing a whole lot of damage. Like, yes, I have the corruption on my weapon, like I shared, and that does status build up, and that's gonna eat their health away quicker. However, just straight melee and dodging is not the way to go. It's forcing you to utilize the mechanics that are set up in the game, and that being attack, morph, strike, and ultimate morph strike. So those are going to be your big windows of damage. Using the morph strikes and tying that in with your essences that can get status on their weapon. Like Julia here, the spear lady, she has you have skill points that you can use. There are memories that you can grab throughout the game, and those allow you to get skill points for the different characters. So Julia here actually has blood on her weapon that inflicts that when you do melee attacks. As you saw, I have between the synergy between Hodai and Throne, we have corruption on our weapon as well. So those two statuses, and I think want to say that Agaros gets fire on his weapon if he's burning. I think it's up here. Yeah, while burning, Agaros attacks inflict burning. So you have multiple different characters that you can get status build up on. So those are honestly going to be your main sources of damage, status, and the morph strikes. Now, the other reason why I'm saying, don't play this like Dark Souls and Elden Ring is you get your, you can see in the upper left, I have my healing item. Now, you can, let me take some damage and show you. So yeah, you can use that as an Estus flask, but show you why you kind of don't want to do that. Essentially here, you get, come on, one more. There we go. Essentially here, you get an Estus flask, but as you can see from this description here, this heals your active essence for 80 health, but also each inactive essence loses 40 health. So you're getting, between your 4 characters, you're actually getting 4 stamina bars and 4 health bars. And by the way, those overlap, so as you attack, you see the red now, that goes down, that's my stamina, and the red underneath is my health, so it overlaps. Now, another important point about that is if my health is all the way at the bottom of the diamond, then that's tied to the amount of stamina I have. So if you're almost dead, you're probably only going to get like 1 dodge and 1 melee attack out of it. So I'm not crazy about that system, but that is a mechanic in the game, so definitely need to keep that in mind. So if I heal now, you see I'm hurting my other essences by doing that. So personally, I have learned not to do that. There is Also, you can use emergency heals here. There is one, I think this is a rare item. You can sum up the health of all the essences and split it equally. Also, I think I've used them all up at this point. Oh no, this one. So you get consumable experience essences. So you can use this to get experience, but it heals you for, X amount of health depending on the size of that item. Now, I would highly suggest using that as a emergency item because obviously you don't want to have more experience on the line in case you die. So yeah, definitely some different mechanics here. And I think basically we have covered everything. Those are the main points I want to bring up and have everybody aware of before the game comes out. Also, in terms of leveling up here, this is what it looks like. You basically have a skill tree, and there are several, little nodes that you have to fill out for melee power, stamina, max health, sync gain. All of these things are important. Like, no one thing is more important than another. You have tolerances, you have poise, you have max health, attack weight, melee power. So these bigger nodes do 3 items, and they can be, or 3 stats, and they can be upgraded 3 times. So they give bigger boosts. So like I said, everything here is important. No stat is not important. So yeah, that's pretty much how you level up. I am a big fan of this so far. I like the story. I like the unique mechanics that have been laid out here. In the, as I've said before, in the Souls-like genre, I think we really need that right now, considering it's been so congested as of late. So hopefully this was helpful to you guys, and hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments, and I will be sure to answer them. So hopefully you're all doing well. Stay tuned. More coming at you.